Brett Yormark, that had to be painful. Welcome to the voice of college football following the Big 12 championship game. Texas in a big Texas-sized way over Oklahoma State, 49-21. Of course, it was the Big 12 commissioner presenting to a Texas Tech booster group during the summer that said, take care of business, knock out Texas in the final regular season game. But the Longhorns rolled over the Red Raiders by 50, and the Texas faithful had fun with that one. Mike Gundy, step up. You're next to defend Big 12 pride. Couldn't get it done. Not even close. Texas so much better than the Cowboys. First, let's credit Mike Gundy and Oklahoma State. They got off to a rough start this year. Lost by 26 to South Alabama. Rebounded, won 7 of 8 at one point coming into this game. Won the games that they should have. I posted earlier on Twitter who would have made a better matchup against Texas. Kansas, Kansas State, Oklahoma. I believe all three of those teams, not that they would have won this game, because Texas is the best team in a conference by a wider gap over the rest of the conference than anybody in college football. But we might have had a better game. However, Oklahoma State earned it. They beat Oklahoma in Bedlam. Kansas, Kansas State, they earned this trip to the Big 12 championship. They were just not up to the task. The last 6 times these two teams met, it was a one-score game. But Texas is so much more buttoned up, much more focused, laser sharp in this one. Mike Gundy said he's been up nights, sleepless nights, since that 2021 Big 12 championship game loss in which they missed out on a playoff against Baylor. Texas came in with the number 1 ranked defense in all of FBS on third down conversion rate. Oklahoma State gets a football right down the field. Bam! They go for the kill shot a couple times. And on 3rd and 10, Terrence Brooks blatantly pass interference. Should have given Oklahoma State 15 yards in the first down. What are the officials doing in this game? This was one of the worst officiated first halves. Didn't see a whole lot of the second half. I was tuned out after it got away from Oklahoma State. But in the first half, poorly officiated by the Big 12 officials. Did they not get the phone call from Brett Yormark? Did they not get the memo? They were helping out the wrong team. This was really bad, really bad stuff here. So, obvious pass interference, should have gone to Oklahoma State. They would have kept the ball. Who knows what would have happened. Sean McDonough made a comment sometime in the first half. Man, this is almost unfair. You put together the skill position players of Texas, along with the play calling expertise of Steve Sarkisian. It's almost not fair. I will add to that for the first time in a long time, put that together with a real Texas offensive line that is one of the best in the nation. That is truly unfair. Ollie Gordon tried to fire up his teammates. He's had such an exceptional year. First 3 games this season, 6 rushing attempts per game, 36 yards on average. 25 carries, $163. He averaged over the rest of the season, but 13 carries, 34 yards. Just no running room for Ollie Gordon. They did get him out in the flat a couple times, and he gained some yardage out there. Malik Mohammed with an excellent pass breakup on Brennan Presley on a 3rd and 5 the next time Oklahoma State had the football. All right, Texas goes to work on offense. Xavier Worthy finished 6 catches, 86 yards, got free on a 56-yard rub play on the right side, and it really didn't follow through or come across on television to a certain extent, but this was an excellent throw by Quinn Ewers. Short pass, but he had to toss it over the head of Xavier Worthy. Just a really nice touch pass to get him on the perimeter. And in this particular play, not that it didn't happen about 25 other times, the Texas speed, quickness, athleticism in the open field was just so overwhelming for Oklahoma State. And this one went 56 yards. And so that spelled trouble. That led to a touchdown. Corey Black, Oklahoma State's cornerback, who has started 50 games, one of their best corners, left the game early in the first quarter. He was out. That was obviously a huge blow to Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy had commented at halftime that at several times during this game, he had 4 freshman defensive backs trying to cover Jatavian Sanders and Xavier Worthy. And this crew, my goodness. Flea flicker wide open. JT Sanders for the touchdown, 14-0. Oklahoma State just lost in the secondary many times. It's bad enough when you can't keep up athletically, and that was obviously the case most of the time, but blown coverages just didn't find people, and that was pretty consistent throughout. Oklahoma State trying to stay in this game. It's 14-0. Rashad Owens made an exceptional catch. The safety got over a little bit late. He high-pointed the football. His 15th contested catch this year. Nobody picked up Brennan Presley down near the goal line. He made a real nice connection with Alan Bowman where they read the defense, saw that nobody was picking him up in the slot. Boom, he just turned around, stick route, touchdown, 14-7. So we still get a ball game at that point. 8 plays, 75 yards for the Cowboys. Tavondre Sweat, one of the great players on the defensive side in college football, had some fun because they got him in the game, tackle eligible. Nobody picked him up. He was wide open for the touchdown, did all sorts of dances, celebrations on the sideline, and that's a big deal. Defensive lineman gets to catch the ball. Boom. Touchdown. Big 12 championship game touchdown. Great stuff there, 21-7. And Alan Bowman missed a wide open touchdown. His receiver had burned the safety. Alan Bowman, capable quarterback, but this was not a good matchup in regards to comparing quarterbacks. Quinn Ewers, when he's on his game, lights out. Alan Bowman is a serviceable player. 22 of 38 for 250, 3 touchdowns, and 1 pick on this one, and it's more about the throws that he missed. Oklahoma State moving on the next series. Bowman makes a bad decision. He's done that many times. Too many picks this year for Alan Bowman. Throws into triple coverage off his back foot. Keaton Crawford picks it off, or did he pick it off? Another misplay by the officials. It's not the end of the world that they missed the play on the field. It was a great diving attempt by Crawford, but he trapped the football, and they didn't look at it. These officiating crews are looking at 3-yard catches constantly and inconsequential plays and trying to figure out, should the ball be placed here or should it be placed here? 1 yard away. Well, let's look at it. Should it be 3rd and 19 or 3rd and 16? They're looking at those kind of plays. Big 12 championship game. One team's down 14-7, or it might have been 21-7. 21-7 at this point. Another team's going in. They're in the red zone. They don't look at this play. Oklahoma State gets ripped off again. Good Lord, this was awful. Nicholas Martin, next series for Texas. Sits in the passing lane, reads Quinn Ewers' eyes, picks it off, goes all the way down to the 3-yard line, and sets up the Oklahoma State touchdown to get them within 28-14 at that point. I tell you, the play by the defensive back Hill, the strip play, Texas excellent on defense in regards to being ball hawking, looking for and they've been excellent. Both teams, both defenses, excellent this season, looking for turnovers and causing turnovers. The issue with Oklahoma State, even though that they were plus 17 coming in, they've just got a deplorable defense. Second to worst in the Big 12 at 423 yards per game, and that skyrocketed. Texas was on pace for 600 yards in the first half. Bert Auburn missed a field goal at the end of the first half. That was a really good chess match between Steve Sarkisian, who was actually playing checkers, and Mike Gundy. Outwitted him on that one. They were basically outlining how good Mike Gundy is with defensive substitutions that press and challenge the rule just enough, push the rule and the envelope just enough to make it difficult on the offense. And in this particular case, Steve Sarkisian did not call the timeout. He takes the delay of game, moves his field goal kicker back. Mike Gundy puts him in a bad position, but he could have called timeout because they were not going for it on 4th and 5. And so after 19 consecutive field goals made, Auburn misses, and we got a 35-14 game at half. Derek Williams with a targeting call. So the Texas defensive back will miss the first half of a college football playoff or postseason game for Texas. Quinn Ewers threw for 354 yards in the first half. This is how amazing that is. We've had a championship game in the Big 12 since 1996, except for 7 years at one point, 2011 through 17. And we know that this has been a passing league with the likes of the great Oklahoma quarterbacks. In particular, Sam Bradford had the record going all the way back to 96 at 386 in a 2008 championship game against Missouri. 386. Quinn Ewers blasted through that. Last chance for Oklahoma State. They're down 35-14. Joe Michalski, a really good center, their best offensive lineman, most consistent offensive lineman, but having issues this season snapping the football. And Oklahoma State was moving the ball. They were inside Texas territory. Yes, they barely have a hope at this point. They're just getting outplayed, but still, 35-14. They can get within 2 scores. But then they get the bad snap after they converted a couple first downs on pass plays. So Texas was playing soft, and that knocks them back, does Oklahoma State, after the 8-yard loss on the bad snap. But this I did not get. They get themselves in position, do the Cowboys, at 3rd and 8, and they run the ball right up the middle. Texas is giving them throws. Plus, you're down by 3 scores. Did Mike Gundy just give up? I know he's not calling the plays, but he should have ripped his offensive coordinator, done a new one after that. You're down 35-14. You've got a drive going. You're in Texas territory, and you're trying to run against one of the best rush defenses in the country with not your best running back, Ollie Gordon, with somebody else. Regardless, right up the middle, 3rd and 8, I just figured right there, Oklahoma State gave up. Texas wins 49-21. Quinn Ewers, 35 of 46, 452, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick. Okay, now to the playoff. One issue, though, with Sark. Ewers got shaken up. They were up 42-14. He gets shaken up. And Sark continues to play Ewers. What are you doing? Dumb decision by Sark right there. Okay, if the 4 undefeated teams, Washington, Michigan, Georgia, and Florida State win, they are in, Texas out. If you're doing a resume comparison, still trying to educate people on this, there's a difference between best win and resume. Texas has a better win, to a degree, Alabama, than, let's say, Ohio State over Notre Dame and Penn State. That doesn't mean you've got a better resume just because you've got a better win. Ohio State has a better resume than Texas, but Texas, as a conference champion, should be in the playoff over Ohio State. Let's make that clear. Okay? All right. Bama, Texas, that we can wage on and on and on. We shall see how it plays out the rest of the day. I would like to see chaos, so let's see it ensue. Would love to see Texas involved in that chaos. Of course, they would be if there's going to be chaos. Otherwise, if Florida State wins, Georgia wins, it's all said and done, and nobody's making any comments about the Big Ten championship game because it's just assumed that Michigan is going to win. I'm not making that assumption, but 22-point favorite, the largest in championship game history. Your thoughts below about Texas's shot in the CFP and what that comparison should be between, let's say, an Alabama winner today, and then Georgia gets into the mix in a comparison against Texas. So you're comparing Texas, Georgia, and Alabama if the SEC championship goes Bama's way. Right here at the Voice of College Football.